Welcome to Two Guys, Three Crowns, the podcast that talks about what it's really like to live in Stockholm, Sweden. I'm Sean, and with my fellow American Rodney, we break down the good, the bad, and the just plain weird. It's quite the journey, so join us for the ride.
Oh, bye, bye, oh, oba, oba, oba. Greetings from the jungle.
Ooh.
Now you have to watch out for that toucan.
Yeah, you haven't really brought up any animals. Last time you didn't bring up any animals. Last year was all full of animals. We had cows and we had thieving monkeys.
Surprisingly enough, the cow, I haven't heard the cow yet. So guaranteed if I had brought my voiceover microphone to get some real work done, it would have been like, oh, there he is.
Okay, but he's not gone or on vacation or anything.
Who knows? He might have gotten moved to another pasture or sold, and he may have been someone's lunch. Who knows?
Ooh.
They ate a lot of beef down here. So.
I was going to say, another barbecue. Yeah.
No, the most ubiquitous animal right now are the mosquitoes.
Ooh.
Yeah. When we
what do they call mosquitoes? What do they call mosquitoes in
Mosquito.
Portuguese? Okay.
Mosquito, it's like little fly.
Okay.
Well, in Spanish, mosca, and in Portuguese, mosca is fly. So mosquito is little fly.
Okay. Like little fly with a big beak.
Yeah. Blood-sucking little fly.
Yes.
So when we got here, the grass was quite long because we were... One of the Christmas presents for Renata's dad was a tractor built because he's got one of these ride-on tractors that you attach the lawnmower thing to, and then he mows the lawn around here. Because it's like, what? It's I don't know acreage, but it's got to be at least 4 acres of grass.
Okay.
Big enough that you can't use a push mower kind of thing.
Right.
So his old one had worn out, so we were bringing this new one that we ordered from Amazon, blah, 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 blah. Needless to say, it was tall grass. And when you got tall grass in Brazil, anything can be living in that. It's kind of gross. Anything.
Yeah.
So he's going out and he's trying to cut it and all this stuff. And every time he cuts the grass, all the bugs come flying up, right? So you have to make sure you've got repellent on or you're inside. And especially me.
Right.
They see me coming a mile away.
Right.
They have a saying for me down here called sangue bom, good blood. Because every time I'm around, I've got red dots all over me.
Oh.
And I was counting the other day. Actually, I was counting the latest count about an hour to 2 hours ago. I think I've got at least 22 bug bites on each leg from the knee down, just from the knee down.
But they like you. You're like tasty treats.
Oh, yeah. And they're these little ones that they don't bite like the normal mosquitoes. I got a few on my arm and stuff like that. They're from normal mosquitoes. They're not as bad. But these little ones, man, the first full day we were here, I got torn up. And then at night, my ankles were getting all swollen because they were it was just like a line. It looked like a constellation. I had the Little Dipper on me, da 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 da. Okay. Oh, it was horrible. I had to take an antihistamine to stop the itching and the anti-swelling agent and a cortisone or something. Oh, it was horrible.
Now, how are the evenings? Is it that?
Well, everything's screened. We have these little... Here, I'll show it to you. For the listeners at home, it looks like a giant Glade plug-in thing. And every couple minutes it goes... Psh, and it sprays out like a little mist cloud of repellent.
Okay.
So we've got those all over the place. As long as you're inside by 5, you're okay. Typically at 3:30, I need to lather up with my industrial-sized vat of insect repellent.
Okay.
Head to toe. So much so that I did head to toe completely, in between the fingers and everything. But what didn't I do? The bottom of my feet.
No,
that one got me in the arch of my foot.
No.
I'm dead serious. In the arch of my foot.
That's just cruel.
It's horrible.
It's just mean.
Horrible. So I'm in the afternoon, I'm watching the clock, and then 3:30, I'm okay, guys, I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Going inside. I can't take it anymore.
Yeah. No, I told you that there's something about Swedish mosquitoes, and I think it's just...
Sweden actually has mosquitoes?
Yeah, lots. And depending upon where you are and, of course, what time of year, they had a really big problem up in Dalarna, north up, then you start getting. But we ran across quite a few when we were down in Skåne last summer. We went through this forested area. As soon as there's no breeze, there's like these stagnant kind of places. But both. I know that Lena reacts pretty good, and I think that the kids. But for whatever reason, they just don't. They either don't like me, or they don't react, or I think I just confuse them. I think I'm just like this genetic blood transfusion. A Hawaiian getting bit by a Swedish mosquito. It's either going to be an explosive event, or or a non-starter. But I typically haven't had problems with, but it's that single one. I think like everybody else, it's that one that's in the room somewhere that just kind of that
keeps flying past your ear.
Yeah, and then they get closer, and then when it stops, and you got to do the body.
Oh yeah. And then you feel itchy everywhere.
Right.
Well, I will tell you that, what was it? I think it was the second night we were here. We were sitting in the little living room kind of area that they have.
Yeah.
And someone spots a spider crawling across the inside of the door jamb where the screen door is there. And then there's like another glass panel to close the glass door at night. And this spider, good sized spider, goes walking across. And like, everyone like jumps up, and we have to kill the thing with our sandals and all that stuff. Yeah. And it's big. It looks like it can be mean if it wants to. And everyone's saying, "Oh, armadillo," which is like, well, I have to Google it and look it up. It was a Brazilian wandering spider, which are highly venomous.
Oh, okay.
Like venomous to the point that they're used. Scientists collect them to like develop anti-venom and anticoagulants and medicines and stuff like that out of their venom.
That don't sound good. That doesn't sound.
And they're like, I figure this out afterwards. I'm like, holy shit! I was sitting like 3 feet away from this thing. Armadillo is like, in Brazilian Portuguese, arma is like gun, like an arms.
Right.
Arms.
Right. Yeah.
So an armadillo is one with guns.
Okay, so like a
venomous, not
so like a gun-toting spider. Brazilian.
Yeah, the crab ones are like massive, but it's not. It doesn't have guns. You know what I mean?
The creepies. I'm getting the willies.
Yeah, and then of course you come out in the morning to the pool. There's always one in the pool that's dead, drowned itself, chasing after some bug. I'm like, yeah, serves you right.
Yeah, you think you might just be chilling in there, going, "Hey, come on!"
Pick the things up with the skimmer. You have to get it out of the pool, and it's like. That big
meaty.
Dead curled up with its legs curled up. Yeah, meaty, very meaty.
Oh,
yeah. But in other wildlife news, we did get to see the monkey troop today.
Okay,
so that was pretty cool.
Okay, how the monkeys doing?
They're doing good. There was it was a group of, I think it was 5 adults and 2 babies, 4 adults and 2 babies.
Okay,
so that was cool. Dylan got to see them jumping between the trees, and he's like,
okay, cool.
So that was super cool. I mean, they're pretty small. They're like the body you could hold an adult. Like the babies would definitely fit in the palm of your hand, kind of thing.
Okay.
With their tail wound up, and then the adults you could hold them like cupped in 2 hands, kind of thing.
Okay. So a little bit bigger than your gun-toting spiders.
A little bit bigger. A little bit. But they live in the trees. The spiders live in the ground. They live under that's why you don't step over logs in this country. Or no. One of the outdoorsy people, they always say you're in North America, you step over the log, whereas South America, I don't know what it is. They live under logs and rocks and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You have to be very careful about where you wash, because then you're stepping on them, and that's when you run into problems.
So it's probably like in North America, you step over. In like South America, you burn the log and then run around.
You spray it with napalm and then
drive. You drive around the log.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. That's what the machete is for,
Yeah, me and insects and bugs and things like that. I'm not a city boy, but growing up in the Bay Area, there weren't a lot of. I mean, we had like flies.
Yeah, not a lot of exotic.
There's not like
there.
There's not exotic insects and spiders and stuff. But when I went to go to when I flew to Hawaii to visit my family over there, and we were on the North Shore, so like the countryside of the island, and centipedes. The first time I saw like a real centipede, I mean, something that looked like it could transport small people. I mean, they had these big, and then they're like, you got to watch out because they can bite you with both ends. And I'm like, okay, that's just not. I don't need that. It's practical information, but
that's like Hanata used to live in Australia.
Yeah.
And Australia, I always think of that scene in the beginning of Avatar, where the general comes out. He's like, "You see that window? Everything out there wants to kill you." That's Australia.
Yeah.
Kangaroos, koalas will mess you up.
Good eye. No. Yeah, but Hawaii, the centipedes, and then cockroaches, of course. That's one. If you're not really used to it, I mean, there's always something moving. There's the kitchen. There's always something moving somewhere. And then you got the geckos. You got little. Yeah,
but those are cute.
Little. Yeah, if they're giving you a good deal on your car insurance, but I'd rather not have them running around my living room.
True. I ran into one in the bathroom the other day. That was in the shower. That was an experience.
Yeah. When people talk about you haven't until you see a Texas cockroach or a Hawaiian cockroaches are pretty big. Okay, they're slightly lazy, but I mean they're they're big.
Too much pork.
Exactly. Too much spam. I'm not a big insect person. I just. Oh.
But it is nice at night. You go to sleep with the sounds. It depends. Not every night, but you tend to go to the sound of all the tree frogs singing in the forest. So that's pretty cool.
Tree frog music.
Yeah, it's very rainforest cafe. Okay. Yeah, but it's cool because it's the real thing.
I like it. So what's happening over there right now? You're getting now. You're poolside. You're not anywhere coastal or.
Well, we're on an island, kind of like how Miami Beach is to Miami.
Okay.
So the city's called Florianopolis. There's the city on the mainland, and then we're Florianopolis, the island of Florianopolis, like a barrier island.
Wow, cool.
Yeah. So we are probably. If I had to walk it, I'd probably get to the beach in 30 to 40 minutes.
Okay.
But that's like a 5-minute drive kind of thing if you're going direct to the beach.
Right.
But
I mean, that's not, but I mean, 30-minute walk is.
Yeah. And then when you get there, there's all the people with like they'll sell you a beer or a cocktail on the beach with their little carts or like a queijo coalho. It's like a halloumi on a stick. And then the guys are like carrying this charcoal grill, and they open up the grill and they stick the cheese in there and they get it toasty on all the sides. So it's like crunchy, hot on the outside, and then like a little gooey on the inside. Oh.
Now,
it's like
now are they
toasted marshmallows but cheese?
Oh.
Yeah.
Now are those guys out and about like all the time?
Oh yeah. I mean, if you go too early, like 10 o'clock is when you can pretty much guarantee that they're all out there. If you go before that, it's not that many people.
Okay. Can I ask you to take a picture? Could you?
Oh yeah.
Next time you're over there, can you ask the cheese grilling guy if he could?
Yeah. Well, there's the cheese griller guy. There's the people that sell like hot corn, and down here there's two different types of corn. There's sweet corn, which Americans are used to, and then they have like a savory corn.
Ooh.
Which looks exactly the same, but it's not sweet. It's just.
But it's savory.
Corn. Okay. Yeah. And then, so they have that guy going down with his cart down the beach. And then there's the guy that has the agua de coco, the big coconuts, in a cooler. And then he takes out the machete, cuts off the top, and then puts the straw in it for you.
Okay.
Yeah. And then there's all the little kiosks that'll sell you like cold beer or food or stuff like that.
Sweet.
So yeah, you can literally just roll up with nothing but your towel,
but your wallet, but a pocket
cash,
full of coins.
Cash.
Yeah.
I'm not used to that. Paper money.
You can't swish like the coconut guy. If you were like, hey, can I swish you?
Yeah, I know.
No. Okay.
But that would be quite convenient. That would
Yeah.
be very convenient.
Yeah. You could talk to him and see if you can't sell him like on a QR code. Be like, hey, have you ever thought about getting like a T-shirt with a QR code? Here's your coins.
Exactly. Let me tell you about a little app I know called Klarna.
Oh, yes. And I could design a brochure if they want brochure
Exactly.
or postcards.
Revolutionize the market down here.
Yeah. Shoot it straight to hell. No.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you gotta take some pictures of those guys.
Oh yeah.
Cool. But have you been down there? I know you've been doing like pool stuff, but have you been?
Yeah. We went to the beach yesterday. Actually, we got up bright and early, so we could take Dylan and come back before his lunchtime, and then that's before the sun gets real intense. Because if you're stuck out there at like midday, unless you have to be under the umbrella, or it doesn't like putting 75 SPF on, or else you're going to burn. Yeah. So yeah, we went out there early and then came back, and then we were at the pool in the afternoon and all that kind of thing. So yeah, and it's easier to be at the pool. You don't have to worry about, taking your mask out there with you or running into, who knows who's out there kind of thing. So
okay, is there like mask wearing?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh.
I mean,
Okay.
on the beach, everyone's spaced out to the point that if you're on the beach, you don't really have to wear a mask kind
Right.
of thing.
Okay.
Like people will. I was avoiding walking right next to people. Like if I was going into the water and then people were walking parallel with the water, then you would I would wait for the person to go and then go kind of thing.
Okay.
Keep that 2 meter distance. But yeah, you would see people out there. There were some people running on the beach with a mask on, or people just walking down the beach with a mask. But people who were like set up shop, yeah, they were pretty.
That's like the new normal.
Yeah. Well, it's like, I told you last week, everyone to get into a store, you got to do your instant read thermometer.
Yeah. You gotta like bring your own. Oh, no, I got my own here. Beep. Yeah.
Hey, we did get a notification that apparently to get back as of January 26th to get into the U.S., you now must have a negative PCR test. Doesn't matter where you're coming from. Doesn't matter the U.K. or anything like that.
Right.
But we did see that at least as of the notifications right now, it can be an antigen test, which is the one that you can get results the same day. So at least that's good for us.
Okay, they don't have one of those guys down on the beach.
Hey, they might soon. You never know. Man. These people, let me tell you about, normally it's like a little, if you took off the kind of canopy of a hot dog cart and it was just the cart itself, that's kind of what a lot of them are like. Huh. But then we see coming down the beach yesterday, this thing called Panther Drinks, and it's like decorated like Pink Panther. It looks like a castle floating down the sand. It's motorized, which most of them have to push it themselves. And then it's got it's a cooler in there, and they've got like a whole bar like in the middle of it. And so you can get your caipirinha, you can get, vodka, rum, whatever you want, like gin and tonic on the beach, doesn't matter. They'll do a smoothie for you because they got a blender. I'm like, Jesus, people, the thing was like at least 10 feet tall. I'm like, yeah, that's another level. Come on now.
I can imagine that guy's real popular with the other like little cart guys. They're like, man, check this dude out.
Well, then when we were leaving, it was like this guy was coming onto the beach, and he had like specchinos and empanadas, I think it was. So like skewered food, like kebabs, and then empanadas, like empanadas, yeah.
Right, sure.
And I'm like, and he's got like a grill inside of his cart. I'm like, yo, you guys,
wow,
you're innovating right now. Let me tell you, it wasn't like this last year.
Man,
Corona's got the people thinking.
Yeah, people start busting out with George Foreman grills down on the beach in Brazil. That things are. It's going to be interesting to see what happens next year when you come back. Or if you go back next year, if it's going to be, if they've upgraded.
Let's see.
The carts.
It is amazing to see, though. It's like such a. You wonder why more countries haven't caught on to this concept.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I know that when we're down in Aarhus, down in Skåne, at Lena's summer place, there is occasionally a guy that comes by with like ice cream.
Yeah, that's like the Jersey Shore kind of thing.
Yeah.
Fudgy wudgies.
Exactly. But no, there's nobody doing
There's no one selling you mixed drinks.
There's nobody. Yeah, I mean, could you imagine that too? I mean, people would be so hesitant; they wouldn't know what to do. You know, people.
Like, is this a sting for Systemit?
Yeah, they would. You know, people would be, and then they wouldn't want to ask questions or anything either. It'd be like, oh, that's kind of interesting. I wish I could do that, but that's too different. Yeah, how does Dylan like being down on the beach? Is he?
Oh, he was loving it. He was loving every minute. We dug a hole that, you know, the classic dig the hole and then have the kids sit in the hole and all that.
Sure.
We got him to jump the waves. Well, us picking him up
right.
the waves and all that. But yeah, he was running up and down the beach and doing it like with both arms behind his back, like Superman. Like
getting the speed. He was like aerodynamic down the beach.
Very aerodynamic, yeah. And then of course we were out on the beach too long, and then he missed his bedtime, his afternoon bedtime. So the late night around dinner time got a little dicey, but
that's when that kicks in.
Yeah,
that whole thing with kids when they miss their naps.
Oh, it's brutal.
And then it's just kind of a waiting game. It's like, hey, you know what? This might not be that bad. You know, we might make it through that. And then all of a sudden, it just kicks in.
You forget what you've done to yourself, and that loan comes due, and it's with interest.
Absolutely, 5 hours later. But he's digging it.
Oh yeah, he loves it, especially with all the other kids that are around and that kind of thing. So we've had a couple cousins here. So with the kids and all that. So yeah, there's a trampoline, there's a slide. The slide goes into the pool. We have like this little mini, what would you call it? Life vest.
Okay.
On that we put on him around the pool, just in, like as a security thing. And he swims just with that. He'll like kick his feet and he can turn around and go forwards and backwards. So he's having a blast.
Sweet. He'll be ready for the summer here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh my goodness! But how many months is Dylan now?
He'll be 18 months on Thursday. Yeah,
it's going fast.
Finally made it to a year and a half.
Going fast. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this morning I get up and was it this morning? It might have been yesterday morning, but. Veronica had a friend that spent the night, and usually I'm like the breakfast guy. I just whip together breakfast. It's like breakfast burritos or breakfast sandwiches, or I have like this whole way of putting together all kinds of like breakfast stuff, and it's
nice.
And so I holler up to them yesterday morning. I'm like, okay, what are you gonna have for breakfast? And American pancakes came echoing out of like up there. And first I was a little surprised because it was a friend of Veronica's that hadn't spent the night in a while. So first I was a little surprised when she came down, but and then I could see the smile on her face. It was like she was at the table. She was just sitting down, and I guess she had been really looking forward to these American pancakes.
Something on TikTok must have been.
Yeah, but I put it together. But I'm the American pancake dad. When the girls spend the night and they go through the list of stuff to do, then American pancakes pops up quite often.
Fantastic. Did you do the stack, or did you do like around the plate?
Well, the recipe is actually, and it depends on how big. If you're going to do like a Calvin and Hobbes pancake, then you might be able to get 1.5. But I can usually get like maybe about five fairly decent sized pancakes out of the the batch that I make.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's like a short stack.
Okay, I like it. I like it. And just plain, straight up, no banana, no blueberry, none of that.
No. Just straight up and with syrup. I've tried to get people to test like bacon. You know how like bacon with maple syrup, that combination, that salt.
Absolutely.
And sweet. But that has people going a little bit outside of their comfort zone.
Oh, come on, people.
It's like frying eggs in bacon fat. And I know that
that's how I do it every week. You do the bacon first, and then you don't need butter in the eggs.
Exactly.
And then you don't need salt either, because the salt is in the bacon grease, and it's a thing of beauty. Thing of beauty.
Yeah. So I mean that's one of those things too where a little bit of flavor. Might not be all that good for your heart or any other stuff, but I mean, live it up. It's a Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah, exactly. You only live once. Come on. It's bacon.
But I do like breakfast burritos, scrambled eggs, throw in some chopped ham, taco cheese that's left over from taco night. Just heat up a tortilla, boom, wrap it up. It takes like 3 or 4 minutes.
Now,
and it's a good way.
You bring up a good point here. Why is Friday taco night in Sweden? Because that's very much a thing, and I don't really get it. Why? It's just because that's what it is.
No, I'm the rebel. I'm going like Thursday. I'm going. You can go ahead. I might do like a homemade pizza on a. Yeah. No, I don't know, but I think that breakfast, because otherwise it's the yogurt and it's like the muesli or the granola or stuff like that. But
yeah, you need a little bacon fat every now and then to counteract all that healthy stuff. Now you're gonna have to give me some tips pretty soon, huh? About being the American dad with a effectively Swedish kid.
Right.
Like how to inject your culture in there into.
Well, and that's what I was trying to tell you, because the other day I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, there's some political stuff happening back in the States, and I'm thinking just some, right? But I'm trying to think, because it's not like they teach American history in the schools here.
Sure.
But I'm thinking how to go ahead and, and do that, and how old kids need to be, to be able to understand and put things in perspective. So that's something that I'm researching now, because it's, I think it'd be good because you can't, like, with a 4-year-old, all of a sudden you hit him with the Constitution or something. I think you got to start off easy. You got to go with like multiplication rock, like with those
Schoolhouse Rock.
Schoolhouse Rock.
Well, I'm just a bill.
Yeah, something you can sing along with. So I think that's probably a good way to ease them in there. Hey, I think I mentioned to you that. So Adrian is his regiment in the army is, he's a part of something called Livgardet, which was originally the King's Guard.
Oh, Jamie Lannister over here.
Yes. The other day it pops up, because I follow on Instagram, that they just celebrated this week their 500th anniversary, 500 years since they started.
God.
Yeah. And Veronica was like, that's pretty old, huh? And I was like, well, let's put that into perspective. It's twice as old as the United States.
Yeah, that's probably more than 500 times longer than any of us are going to live.
Right. But 500 years, yeah. That's a long time.
Yeah. Seriously. So did they do like any special party or things like that, or it was just very Swedish? Okay, here's your sparkling apple cider.
Yeah, no, there was a couple of Instagram posts. No, I mean, they did, and I saw it on Instagram, and then I asked Adrian if they did it, but and I can't remember. In Swedish, they're called. Now I'm going to mispronounce it. Marschaller. It's those round, kind of metal candle thingy mabobbers that they put out for like New Year's. You pop the top. It's kind of like a big candle in a metal.
Yeah. But it looks like a big round.
Right.
Yeah.
And they lined like the entry to the military base on the approach to the military base. They had lined up both sides of the row with those every couple feet.
Okay.
So it looked like this long runway, and we're still kind of in a dark period of time.
Okay,
yeah. So I saw it on Instagram, and then Adrian also took a picture and sent it to. I was like, did they really do this? So that was kind of nice.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, bringing up the King's Guard, that raises a interesting question that was posed to me recently by the Brazilian troop down here. And I don't know if we've ever talked about this before, but I was definitely unsure of how to answer it. So being that we are 2 guys, 3 crowns,
right.
The first half of that name makes total sense.
Sure.
And then the 3 crowns, I was like, well, that's a symbol, for Sweden, Stockholm, blah, blah, blah,
yes.
blah. And then the next question out of everyone's mouth is, yeah, but why 3 crowns? And I'm like, So I figured I would need to pose this to you because out of the two of us, you would definitely be the expert on this thing, especially considering you're wearing the Three Crowns hat right now.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we're out of time. Otherwise, I would have loved to. I posted it. I posted it somewhere. I know I did on Instagram and how that coat of arms, how the Three Crowns, the history of it. I can't unfortunately pull it out of my hat right now, but.
Well, I was thinking, I'm like, maybe at some point it was some peace agreement between Norway, Sweden, and Denmark because they were always warring with each other. But that's just me pulling it out of where the sun don't shine. So.
out of your hat.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'll go ahead. I'm going to refresh that post. How about I do that? I'll go ahead and
we need
put it
answers.
Back up. Yes.
These questions demand answers.
Yes, absolutely. You have a fantastic week. I do have another request. I need you to see if you can find Spam in a store down there. When you're down there, when you go grocery shopping, just see if they have the can of Spam.
I'll keep an eye out. I hear they do have wasabi Doritos, so I'm keeping an eye out for them as well.
Ooh, crunch a pack of those for me, and you can like put it in between. It just crumbs.
If we can find them, we haven't found them yet, but the eyes are open. So I'll keep an eye out for Spam too.
Rumor has it.
Yeah, it'll be like lime or caipirinha flavored Spam probably.
Yes,
but we'll see.
But you can leave the spiders there.
Oh, come on. If you're going to have one, you got to have the other.
No, I don't think so.
All right, everyone, that'll do it for this week's episode. As always, a very special thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to check out our Instagram for more Two Guys, Three Crowns goodness. You can also check out our YouTube channel for some behind-the-scenes action, and check out our merch store on our website. You'll find all sorts of cool stuff. And then catch us back here next week for more Two Guys, Three Crowns.